What's up? What's good? What's good in the hood? Let's get to it. Now, a lot of y'all asked me about Mace's statement with the 70 Bloods outside his hotel room the night after Biggie, he got killed in Los Angeles. And y'all asked me, was Mace lying? Now, Gene was going to answer this, and that's why I didn't even make a video. Because I was like, this Gene thing, let Gene answer it. Because this was an alley-oop for Gene. I said, well, Gene Deal going to slam dunk this. So I'm just going to sit back and wait on Gene to just go on and do his thing. I could have made a video the moment after Mace did his video. And I chose not to so that Gene could go ahead and get his shine on and do his thing. I said, let Big Gene have his moment, and go and do his thing. So I wasn't trying to take nothing from Big Gene or take the floor from him. I was there backing him up with support, saying he was right, which he was. If somebody's right about something, I'll say they're right. If I say, oh, no, that part is wrong because I have facts to back that up, that's different. Some of the people think I hate Gene Deal because I had pointed out one time he was wrong about something and I backed it up with my facts. Don't hate Gene Deal. Now, Mace gave his take about the 70 Bloods outside his hotel room when he was staying at the Mondrian. And y'all asked me, was he lying? Only Mace could say yes or no if he saw 70 Bloods outside of his room that night. Okay? But from what I know, that number is probably greatly exaggerated. To say 70, uh, I can understand him just saying a lot of Bloods. But yeah, there were some people out there. Were they there for him? Who knows? But after Big just passed away, you know, that's not something you're going to be interested in. You're going to not be trusting of anybody in the hallway, let alone if they Bloods or not. I mean, they came and got him with no problems. There was no what you would call no real issues on the horizons. Like they were able to get him out with no conflict. That's what I knew as well. Now Mace is the only one that could really tell you from his point of view what happened about the 70 Bloods. But no, I don't think it was 70. And they were waiting for him. I don't know. That could be insecurity. I mean, if somebody you was there with chilling got murked while y'all were down there and you didn't go because you knew it was dangerous and that person got murdered, then it is what it is. Well, he didn't. Mace chose choice not to go, as they keep saying, Mace, why you didn't go to the party? And of course, we've already heard that he was in there with an R&B star, right? He was in the room with an R&B star, and he didn't want to come out. That was his claim, and that um, he was saying that Brandy was begging him to come, according to Gene. That was the case. Like, he was begging us to come. Now, when you look at, let's say, total picture, what's really going on, you look at a whole different environment. For instance, Mace don't bring up Gene Deal getting him out of the Century Club. You know, Mace was jammed up in the Century Club, and they was like, Mace need help getting out the club. So Gene Deal vest up, went over there, and got him out, and escorted him to his car. So he can get up out of there. Now, when you look at all of these details that people have been giving up, like this information about the case and what's been going on, it's way more, murkier than what people actually know or believe. So you're not going to trust anything that's moving at that time. I never asked Mace about like what happened with Big and none of that. Mace volunteered the information to me when we were on a conversation talking about something else entirely because of a video he saw by Gene Deal. And I think he was upset with Gene, and it wasn't Gene's fault. And it was a misunderstanding because Gene Deal made a video, but he was on Art of Dialogue. And Art of Dialogue made the title the way he made it sound as if Mace knew a hit was coming, and Mace, like he had something to do with it. And one, it was reckless to make a title like that. I mean, yeah, it's going to get you clicks, but, you know, it makes Gene look bad when you do that because that's not what Gene meant. So Gene has to make a video to go to clarify that, but Mace is not, it's not like he's on YouTube watching everybody's video. Art video is going to, go around a lot bigger than Gene's is, or, they might be on the same level now, but right, Gene is not at where the Art of Dialogue was. So now Mace felt some type of way about that. So he ran down and just in conversation what happened that night and why he didn't go, everything. And he told it to me directly. I didn't get it from a third party source. I didn't get it. So from his point of view, I was able to get his side of it and how he left through Vegas. And Clive Davis and those guys got him out of there, and they left out through Las Vegas. Puff, they were gone. Like some of them went through San Diego, but he said he left through Vegas. Now, he was saying that it was incorrect of Gene to say him and Big wasn't close. He was indicating that him and Biggie, like Biggie didn't like him and all this stuff. And he was saying that wasn't true. Um, he was upset about that, saying that in the last 6 months of Big's life, me and Big was almost inseparable at that time, which is what Mace told me personally, that they were inseparable at that time in the last 6 months of his life. When they were in Cali, they didn't hang around each other that much, but they were working together because they was working on Puff's album. Mace was doing his album, and Dave Big was finishing his album. And then, they was gonna put More Money, More Problems, which was Mace's song. They moved that to Biggie's album and put Big on it and moved it over to Big's album. And Mace didn't agree with that at first. That's not something he really was on, like in agreement with, but it was gonna be bigger for him to blow up off Biggie's album than his album roll out. So in hindsight, it was the bigger, better play. But Mace was just starting to get known. Like Stevie J could move around in Cali how he wanted. Nobody really knew Stevie J, you know, by a face or anything like that. They'd be like, oh, look, that's Stevie J. So he could ride around and drop tops. But it was real funky out there at that time. Yeah, Nas was out there at the same time. So Nas was in L.A. and Nas wasn't hanging out with Puff and none of them while he was out there. He wasn't gonna attend the party, none of that stuff. And he was in L.A. Ran into Big, the whole nine, while he was out there. Because Big was out there for 2 months in Cali, just doing appearances, shows, and doing work. He was hitting the studios. So they was out there for 2 months. That's why it's so bizarre that you got the FBI following them. The feds is following them. How do you not see this? How do you not know what's going on and you right there? Well, they were trying to investigate Biggie and Puff for the. They were trying to find connections with them and the Genovese Mafia. You see, the Genovese Mafia, that was a whole different umbrella, buddy. And that's what the FBI was trying to take down. And Biggie kind of brags about it on My Downfall. I roll with cats that call cats moolies. Think it's cool to smoke woolies and without rubbers. Specialize in killing wives and grandmothers. So he was alluding to that connection in the song, figuring that the New York mob had them under extortion. So the feds were carefully watching them when they were out in Los Angeles. Now, Gene Deal, all those statements he made is accurate with what I've heard. We're saying these dudes is coming to get us. And all like they told me that's exactly what Gene said, and Gene was saying that. But what they saying Gene isn't saying is that Gene was saying this all the time. Everywhere they went, Gene would say, "Yo, Uncle, word, these dudes is coming." And they were somewhere else. Gene had said the same thing. Like Gene has always brought up that, "Yo, these dudes is coming. They coming tonight. I just got word. They finna try to make a play." So that's why people were acting the way they was acting when Gene was like, "Yo, I just got word. These dudes is coming. They coming to get us tonight." That's the word I got back. That Gene has done this before and nothing has happened. He said these things from the past and nothing came. Like he was doing this like more than once. Like this ain't the first time he said that. Now I don't know. I haven't asked Gene that, but that what was said, that he's was making those statements before, and they didn't. This is why like they really didn't take it to heart or that serious when Gene was saying it this time around. Just unfortunately for everybody, he was right. Now, there's a lot of details that happened after the fact that we'll get into a little later, but I'll do that on the Patreon. Then we'll move on from there. But man, that's crazy. That is extremely crazy to see where everyone is now and where things are going and at the rate it's traveling. It's nuts for anyone to try to put any kind of inkling on what someone can do, what they can't do, anything of that nature. When he talking about how they would have handled the situation. Like somebody was like, "Why didn't Mace just call the security at the desk?" You don't know if the guy that work at he's just it's just an employee. That's a job. You don't know what ties he might have to gangs or whatever. You don't know if he gave up the room number. You don't know who's in on it and who ain't. The bellboy, the guy who brought your bags to the room, everything. All of it is connected. You gotta doubt all of it. All of it's in question. All of it is suspect. Can't trust anything. So I ain't mad at Mace for that. I'm just saying that do I believe it was 70 Bloods? If you asking me, no, I don't see 70 Bloods doing any of that. But then again, this isn't me, you know? So I don't have to sit there and wonder or guess. It's not up for me to do that. That's for everybody else to decide. Me, all I gotta do, sit back, chill, and watch everything play out. That's my job. Everybody else get to speculate on what is and what isn't. Did this happen this way? Did it not happen that way? May said it went this way. Oh man, I don't think they did that right. I think it could have went this way. That's not it's not our job. It's not our responsibility. My job is just tell it like it is. Mace said what happened. He claimed he didn't want to go. He didn't trust Gene or Big Security. He didn't trust them. Even though Big Gene got him out the club. The thing is, Mace didn't call Big Gene to come get him out the club. He called, I think he called Puff and them or whatever, and they asked Gene to go get him out the club. And Big Gene came and got him out the club. Big Gene came and got him out the hotel. So, yeah, no, Big Gene wasn't dissing him. Big Gene was thanking him for saying, thank you, Murder, for, letting it be known that, well, what I went through to get you out of there, and risk my life to make sure you were straight. So he put his life on the line. So it wasn't there ain't no real beef or nothing like that with dude. Nah, he was just disappointed at how, the narratives are. And then on the internet, you see how it is now with Puffy. Everybody basically got it like he put a hit out on Tupac, which is crazy. But the internet is how it is. People run with it. And the internet, if it's something wrong, now you're going to have people looking at him weird because it's been on the internet, and you basically put people's lives in danger. There's people traveling from Miami to Cali. You don't know what these crazy people might try to do. They didn't saw the video. Man, Mace was in on it. One of the bodyguards said it, and then that's not even what he was saying. But that's the way it was titled. And the art of dialogue, it says it right there under the title. And it got Gene Deal picture up there. So that's not how he worded it. It's not what he meant. And that was that. Now, moving right along. When we look at guys who are in their bag when it comes to certain aspects of life, man, and they trying to grow from a tragedy. I don't know if any of you ever lost a friend to gun violence. I've lost friends to gun violence, family members to gun violence, and no matter how you lose them, it's just like, damn, you just almost wish you could turn the clock back and change everything. It's like you still feel those effects all the way down the road. You never get old. You still feel it. And it shapes your life. Losing somebody. Would you ever know what love is? Would you ever respect life if you didn't know death? People say, why does God let people die? If God is so good, why he let us die? And I say that. Would you respect life if you couldn't die? By seeing death, you respect life. you go, oh my goodness, this is precious. But when you're surrounded by a lot of death, that can make you not care about your life because you've seen so much. And some people just become immune to seeing so much death. They think it's just, oh, well, it's inevitable anyway. So I might as well just go out in a blaze and get it over with. Yeah, it's inevitable that we one day will leave this earth in the physical. But one thing for sure, it's up to you what you're going to do with the time you have. How are you going to contribute? I've seen somebody with like no fingers and blind contributed to society. He's got no hands, blind, and contributing. I saw a man who was looked just like any normal white guy. Went to war, got burned up, third-degree burns all over his face, almost died. He's completely, face is just gone. His ears are gone. They burnt. He's got to wear a a device on his ears just so he can hear. I mean, nose gone. His face is just burnt to a crisp. And all he got is his family, really. And there he was, going out in public in a movie theater where everyone's going to be staring at him. And that's bravery. That's courage. And I stood in front of him and I had a conversation with that man. Just like he was anybody else in the world. That brought a calm to him because he was so nervous on how people were going to respond to him coming outside. His mother cried while we were sitting there conversating because it was the first time he really came out of like his shell and was communicating with somebody like other than family who didn't know him from a hole in the wall. But what we were talking about was not what happened to you, how you get like this. We was talking about the movie, where this is gonna go and how this should have been. That's what we was talking about. And unfortunately, the world has become a very cynic place. It's become a place where people are judged and convicted basically on the internet. And we don't get back to reality anymore. And we need to start getting back there. There is no Mase and Gene Deal beef. There is no Carcino and Gene Deal beef. There is no me and Mase beef. There's no beef with nobody. Okay? All these guys are living their own lives. Okay? They had a respectfully disagreement with each other. Mace told me while he was out there, he didn't trust Biggie security and all those guys. He didn't, for some reason, he didn't have a trust of those guys. He didn't like the way they was moving. He thought they was snakish, and in his mindset is like these guys got all these guns, and these dudes weren't shooting back. Like like why? How did Big get shot? Nobody returned the fire. Because he's not there. He don't know how it went down or anything. Like somebody can tell him, but he wasn't there to see it happen. So he's speaking from his vantage point. He's in a hotel room. He's getting word Big got shot and killed. You in your hotel room when this happens. So you got to look at it from his vantage point. His trust thing, like, I knew this is why I wasn't moving with them that way. I don't trust these dudes that's all with him. And it's not just saying Gene Deal. He don't trust Gene. He ain't trust none of the security. Like, he didn't believe they were, really protecting the artists or whatever. So that's why he stayed in the room. And who am I to argue with that? If that's how the man felt, that's how he felt. Now, Mace told me that personally. So I didn't get it from no third party. I got it from Mace himself. Now, I'm out. Don't forget to join the Patreon, Carcino for Life. I want to say blessings and peace to all y'all out there. Positivity is the key. Gotta move forward. Focus on what matters. Alright? I'm out, y'all. One.